OnlyFans models are very divisive on the internet. You either shower them in money and compliments if you're one of their many fans, or you shower them with hate, vitriol, and aggression if you just don't like OnlyFans to begin with. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle and just don't care and people can do whatever they want. But no matter how divisive OnlyFans models are, I think we can all agree that murder is bad. OnlyFans girls who became horrible criminals.
Courtney Clenny. When it comes to OnlyFans models committing a crime, one of the most prominent cases is that of Courtney Clenny, aka Courtney Taylor. The case contains horrific details about how a tumultuous relationship ended with Clenny facing possible life in prison. In an incident that occurred on April 3rd, 2022 between 4:43 p.m. and 4:56
Oh, that's recent.
p.m., Clenny, aged 26 at the
That's
time,
specific.
is alleged to have stabbed her boyfriend, 27-year-old cryptocurrency investor Christian Toby Obumseli, to death. The knife, which
Jesus
he initially claimed
Christ!
to have thrown from 10
What
feet away,
happened?
penetrated Obumseli's chest right above
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me rehear that one
knife,
again.
which she initially claimed to have thrown from 10 feet away.
She threw the knife from 10 feet away. She did a Modern Warfare 2 throwing knife across the map and it stabbed a man. I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't think throwing knives were like a real thing. I thought if you threw a knife, like it might hit someone, but it's not gonna like properly embed in them. Oh my God.
Penetrated Obumseli's chest right above where he had a tattoo of her name. The crime
She threw a knife and it stabbed him in the chest just where he had a tattoo of her name. This sounds like fan fiction. Is this real?
occurred at the lovers' Miami apartment, where they had just moved in at the start of 2022. Despite being new to the residence, the police had already visited them twice due to the neighbors raising domestic disturbance complaints.
No, she does not need to be sent to the military. She is not fired. Stop complimenting the murderer, you weirdo.
The series of images of the crime scene, released in November 2022 by Miami-Dade prosecutors, reveal gory details of the incident. Clenny is seen donning blood-drenched sweatpants while also being covered in blood on her hands, feet,
Why?
and part of her nightgown. The
Why would you
images
do
also
this?
show some love letters from Obumseli to Clenny.
Oh my God, there is so much text here. I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot. I was gonna zoom in and like try and read it, but I think I need a TLDR for this. Where do I truly begin? I think it says begin. If anything, let me shout with why I fell in love with you. The breathtaking innocence, I think it says. It says, to my love, from your love. Okay, well, how do you know who that is? What if you have like several loves? What if you're playing the long game with a few people? What if it's a polyamorous relationship? How is this not very, it's not very specific.
It seemed he loved her a lot, given that one of the letters starts with, "You're the sweetest and most annoying woman I know." The letter then proceeds into a detailed professional.
What a crazy way to start a love letter. You're the sweetest and most annoying woman I know. If I know any woman, if they receive that, either they're gonna play it off as like a joke, or they're gonna be like, what do you mean? You think I'm annoying? Really? It's like a woman asking like, do I like fatness? You have to say no. You have to say no.
Of love, where he even describes her as his, quote, personal sunset. Moments after the stabbing at 4:57 p.m., Clenny made a 911 call and can be heard apologizing to the boyfriend, even as she pleaded with the operator saying, "My boyfriend is dying of a stab wound." During the call, the boyfriend could be heard in the background crying out that he couldn't feel his arm. When the police
Oh my God, that's awful. Why are you can't apologize at that point. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, by the way. Like, you're dying, but like, I'm sorry. Like, my bad.
arrived at the scene, they found her holding the bleeding boyfriend in her arms. There was blood everywhere, on the kitchen island, in the master bedroom, the bathroom, and the back of the living room. As they attended to Obumseli, she was ordered to sit out on the balcony where she began kissing her dogs. She was later questioned for about 4 hours at the local police station,
Yeah, kissing the dogs goodbye. You're never gonna see them again. Are you kidding me? You just killed a man.
admitted to a psychiatrical ward, but then was released just 2 days later. The release was due to the view that Clenny claimed it was self-defense. In a weird twist of events,
she used a throwing knife in self-defense?
after killing Obumseli, Clenny made wire transfers totaling $1.15 million to her father's bank account. They argued that the money was enough to move out of the country and that her job didn't tie her down to a specific location. It's worth noting that Clenny had made a lot of money through her OnlyFans career at that point. In 2021, she made $1.8 million. Just a year earlier, in 2020, she made $966,692. And
damn, half as much. Kind of fell off. Oh no, that's the year before. Never mind. Sorry. She doubled her earnings in a year. Christ, that's a lot.
In 2022, before shutting down her account, she had made $327,221. Such income explains why they lived in a very luxurious address and a 22nd floor with 3 bedrooms and a great view of Biscayne Bay. After her release, she fled Miami to be closer with her family, and on June 17th, 2022, 2 months after Obumseli's death, she bought a 3,080 square foot, $1.3 million luxurious home with a pool and hot tub in Lake Point, Texas, near her parents.
Wait, in Texas? Wait, she killed a man. How is she allowed to buy a house? If she's on the run from the police, surely. Even if it was in self-defense, like, that has to be sort it out first? Did they prove it was in self-defense? I mean, it might have been. You gotta like sort that out first, right? You can't just like scarper. You can't just like skedaddle and then be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a house in Texas now.
Countering the murder claim, her lawyers argued that she did act in self-defense after Obumseli had grabbed her by the throat, but a judge said that claim wasn't credible. The lawyers also stated that just a day earlier, he had stalked and beat her. This was revealed in released police body cam footage after the officers had responded to a domestic strife involving the couple. Clenny was once again arrested on August 10th, 2022, where she had gone for substance abuse. The arrest was after more evidence.
She just got let go and she can just do whatever she wants. Holy Jesus Christ. So there is some potential there, right? If he got the police called on him for like a domestic abuse, then there's potential that would happen the next day as well. She's defending herself. I still don't understand the throwing knife. That's crazy. 10 feet away? Right into the tattoo of her name? That's crazy thing.
Evidence had been collected by Obumseli's lawyer. Also, it's almost like Obumseli knew things were gonna take a turn for the worst because he left behind a lot of evidence that was used against Clenny. A series of phone recordings from Obumseli were presented to the court as proof of Clenny's deeply toxic behavior. The clips include her yelling racial slurs, screaming, demeaning, and cursing him out. In one of the recordings, she's heard telling him, "Man up, bitch," and "Shut up and let me slap you, dumbass." I don't know.
What? What a crazy set. Shut up and let me slap you, dumbass. There's only one occurrence in which it's okay to say that. And it may have been an occurrence like that, but I don't know.
Oh, I said it so like aggressive. The reason? Well, he apparently didn't tell her that he said hello to a female acquaintance while on a bicycle ride. She even commands him, find my fucking phone and charge it. Larry Hanfield, Obumseli's family attorney, said he found the recordings as evidence of someone who is, quote, unhinged and out of control. Further evidence that she was the aggressor is a video of the couple from February 21st, 2022, in their apartment's elevator where she is seen attacking him and trying to pull his hair. Also, in an exchange over the phone,
dude, he needed to get out of that situation. He was getting abused, clearly. He needs to get out of that situation. I'm feeling sorry for the guy now, honestly. I mean, he is dead, so you kind of feel sorry for him from the get-go. On the off chance that it was him doing the abuse, I was like, okay, maybe we want to wait for a little bit more information in this situation. She was doing the abuse and also threw a knife at him. So how did she get away with this? How was she let go?
Clenny once told Obumseli, "I actually literally fucking want to kill you," which is not.
I mean, that's an admission right there. That's it. Like, call it a day. Play that in court. Boom. You said you wanted to do it. You did it. We got intention. We have pre-planning. That's murder right there. You're done. That's it. GG's.
Not gonna look too great in court. Clenny now faces second-degree murder for the crime and is awaiting trial in 2023.
What's the difference between second degree and first degree? First degree murder is planned and intentional, whereas second degree murder is unplanned but intentional or reckless. So they're saying that she didn't plan to kill him, even though she said, "I want to kill you," but it was still intentional. Whereas first degree murder is when you pre-plan something like a day ahead of time and then you do the murder. That's first degree murder. I guess they couldn't prove without a shadow of doubt that it was first degree murder, even though she said like she wants to do it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually going to murder someone. Like if I say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you," to someone, like that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually going to do murder on them. It's just like an exaggerated way to say that you're kind of sick of someone a little bit. That's rough. I can't believe that. I can't believe she just bought a house in Texas.
Abigail
That blows my mind.
This case focuses on Abigail White, aka Fake Barbie, aka Mitzi Lewis, a British OnlyFans model who, following a really toxic relationship and a painful breakup, stabbed and killed her boyfriend, Bradley Lewis, on March 25th, 2021.
What is it with OnlyFans models and stabbing and killing their boyfriends?
Before we look into the highly contrasting upbringings of these two lovers, let's dive straight into what happened on that specific day that Bradley died. Earlier in the day, Abigail and Bradley met in a public park, with the meeting having been summoned by Bradley, who had resolved that he no longer wanted to be with Abigail. He informed her of the decision, and she was enraged. She clearly didn't take kindly to the news. However, despite the breakup, moments after 5 p.m., the couple, together with Abigail's friends, were captured by a surveillance camera going into the Horseshoe Pub and then proceeding to the beer garden area. As they began partying, Abigail started acting weird. She was angry, short-tempered, and caused problems with other customers. This was probably the influence of mixing a line of coke and alcohol, and also the pain.
Why would you even pose on OnlyFans when you have a boyfriend? Just because you're on OnlyFans doesn't mean you can't have a relationship. That's two completely unrelated things. It's just a job, right? It's just a job.
Of the decision that Bradley made earlier at the park. You know, she got broken up with. And Bradley wasn't doing so well himself. A man found him crying in the men's bathroom, claiming that he was scared of Abigail and didn't know what to do. And he also...
Jesus Christ, that must be a terrifying situation, my God. So he wants to break up with her. She's going a little bit wacky, a little bit goofy, and she's saying, no, That's not going to happen. So he, scared of Abigail, goes out with her, maybe thinks, okay, maybe I have to stay with her because she's going to go wacky crazy if I break up with her. So I'm kind of trapped in this situation. And we're in this situation where eventually she stabs him.
Also thought that if he left, she would take her own life. I'm guessing she had a history of claiming to do that. It was clearly a messy situation and—
Oh, she may have threatened to do game end on self if he broke up with her. That's some horrific manipulation. I hate that stuff.
Already riddled with chaos, got even worse. Abigail got into a fight with one of the customers. She slapped him and he slapped her back, causing her to fall. She then walked back to Bradley, took his drink from him, and threw it in his face because he didn't defend her. She also spat in the face of a friend who told her to stop bullying Bradley. Maybe tired of the chaos, they all wanted to go home, and so at around 7:50 p.m., Alfie, a mutual friend of the couple, gave them a ride. They argued all the way back, and on arrival, as Abigail stormed into the house, Bradley, who had hung back for a bit, said to Alfie, "I'm dead when I get home." Barely
Oh no, he was right. Oh, that's so awful. Jesus Christ. Man, honestly, when she went in, I mean, it's too late, obviously, to say shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Bradley should have stayed in the car, locked the doors, drove off. Don't tell her where you're going, just straight up cut her off, boom. Unless maybe Bradley lives with her, then it becomes harder because, like, that's your house. Hopefully you could stay with a friend or something at that point.
20 minutes after Alfie departed at 8:10 p.m., emergency services got called by a neighbor, Mrs. Kundi.
Damn, it
Mrs.
took
Kundi
20
had already
minutes.
responded to a scream from Abigail, and on entering the house, she had found Bradley lying on the kitchen floor with blood covering the hallway and living room. A knife was also on the radiator. Abigail claimed that Bradley had stabbed himself after a heated argument. A story that police did—
Abigail claimed that Bradley stabbed himself. Even though she was the one acting irrational all day, he was sitting there in the car like, dude, I am dead when I get in there, like it is over. He walks in and stabs himself? I understand that you're probably freaking out, you're not thinking straight. It's really hard to think of a lie on the spot like that, but that is probably the worst and dumbest thing that you could have said in that situation.
Believe. Unfortunately, Bradley was pronounced dead at 1:30 a.m. The knife had penetrated his heart. Alright, now let's go back to their childhood backstories. Bradley was a gentle soul all the way from childhood. He grew up in a loving home, with his childhood football manager saying he was one of the nicest kids you could ever meet. And on the other hand, Abigail grew up in an unstable home. While aged just 4 years, her parents split up due to domestic violence. Even worse,
oh my God.
her stepdad, who came into her life thereafter, was physically abusive towards her, so she ended up in foster care. All along, she had—
oh man, she did not have a chance, did she? Like there was no, I mean, to be fair, there are people in this situation where they have a horrible childhood and they grow up and they become better than the circumstances that they were raised in. But for a lot of people, you're not even given a chance. You just carry on with the same mentalities and the same things as what you saw and what you were dealt with as a child.
Behavioral problems in school, and due to mental and emotional instability, she got prescribed antidepressants at just 13 years old. Abigail's path ended up with her doing OnlyFans, where, despite a good start, making £60,000 in the first year, her popularity dwindled, leading to an income of about £12,000 a year later. She, however, managed to survive by relying on Bradley's income. The two had been an item for a while, since they dated from back when Bradley was just 16 years.
Wait, oh my God. Oh my God. The best dad you could ever ask for. He wanted a princess after our 2 boys, so I gave him one. Oh, dude, they had 3 kids. No. No wonder he didn't leave. I was thinking it would be so much easier to leave if there was no family situation, but they had 3 kids.
Old. They even had 3 children together. However, their relationship, which Abigail termed very rough and controlling, was mostly turbulent with allegations of cheating. This is well evident given they had a 4th child that wasn't Bradley's. Following the death,
oh my God,
Abigail pleaded guilty to manslaughter.
Bro, this Bradley had no shot, man. That sucks. She went and had a kid with another man and then stabbed him. Poor guy, he did not deserve any of that.
She used to take full responsibility despite the amount of evidence against her. Phone records, for instance, revealed that she had sent hundreds of threatening messages to Bradley. One message from February 7th, 2021 read, "I swear to God, I will stab you." There was also
I pulled a 29-year-old when I was 16. No, that means you got statutory R-worded. Actually, I hate saying this. This is so disgusting. The age of consent in the UK is 16, so it's not illegal. It's just very immoral. That is gross. It's disgusting. Why are 29-year-olds going after 16-year-olds? You didn't pull anyone. What are you on about? That's so gross, dude. I'm 26. I would never date someone under like 22. It's just too young. It's weird. Doesn't feel right at all.
Damning voice recording where Abigail told a friend that Bradley could only tell the truth when she, quote, beat the fucking daylights out of him.
Obviously, I have no limit when I get angry, and like obviously he said that I need help with that.
Bro, you're talking like an anime character. I have no limits when I get angry. That sounds like something Vegeta would say.
Because people are generally saying to me, one of you are going to end up dead. Like, And I fully believe that I'm quite capable of killing him.
What? There's a kid in the background. There was a kid just tumbling around in the background like a Tweenies character.
If he hurts me again, or I'm gonna end up being in prison. But I don't believe a word that comes out of that boy's mouth. I have to beat the living daylights out of him for him to tell me the truth, and he still don't tell me the truth. You only tell
Maybe he's just telling the truth, and maybe you're a complete psycho that just doesn't see the truth because you're completely deranged. Maybe that's a possibility too. Do you ever think that people in this situation have like a moment of clarity where they're like, oh my god, I'm just a psycho. Like my mind is telling me the things that are just making absolutely no sense.
tells me the truth when he thinks I'm gonna kill him. Like when I get a knife out, like when I stab him, like, oh, I just don't get this kid.
Equally disturbing evidence is that just about a week before the fatal stabbing on March 19, 2021, Abigail had stabbed him in the arm, causing a massive wound. Bradley had
He got stabbed before that? I mean, at that point, you just call the police, right? Actually, to be fair, UK police, they're probably not going to do anything. If a woman stabs a man, I feel like nothing would happen in that situation with the UK police. I feel like nothing would happen.
for her lying to the doctor saying that he had an accident at work. So, where did the case end up?
What, did he trip, fall, and a knife?
Abigail got sentenced to life in prison, which means that she'll be jailed for at least 18 years before being eligible for parole.
You killed him!
Exum. So the two cases
killed a
we
man.
just talked about have something in common, that being that they stabbed someone to death. And I don't know why that's I don't want to say popular, but kind of popular way that OnlyFans criminals have killed people.
You know what's interesting is, like, I guess stabbing is the new poisoning. For like when women kill men, like stabbing is the new thing. You don't really hear a lot of women shooting men. There's a lot of men shooting at literally everyone because fucking men love to shoot men, and especially in America, it's crazy. But women used to poison men. That doesn't happen anymore. Maybe poison's harder to get now. I guess knives are like easier to get.
I don't know. I really don't know how else to say it, but this is another one. This is another stabbing one. In a strangely familiar fashion to the other two, our aggressor, Genie Exum, an Instagram and OnlyFans model based in Manhattan, stabbed her boyfriend, Francis Amor, following a domestic dispute.
They're stabbed again.
On Monday, October 18th, 2021 at around 6:45 p.m. at their luxurious apartment. They lived at 10th Avenue, Hudson Yards, Midtown in New York City. The couple had been in a heated argument before Exum took a knife and stabbed Amor. At the time, Exum was 22, while Amor was 30 years old. After being stabbed, Amor staggered into the apartment's lobby, where a doorman noticed him and made a 911 call. Both the NYPD and EMS responded to the call, arriving at the location shortly after. He was taken to the NYC Health and Hospital Bellevue and remained in stable condition. Exum had stabbed them both in the arm and the back, and luckily, Amor, who went by
twice? I mean, you really wanted to do it if you do it twice. Like in a crime of passion, you grab a knife, you stab someone, you're like, oh fuck, what have I done? If you take it back out and you go in for another one, that's murder. I mean, it's murder anyway, but it's even more murder.
Non-life-threatening injuries. Following the incident, Exum appeared in the New York criminal court where she was charged with a Class D felony, assault with the intent to cause physical injury along with a weapon. Interestingly, she didn't even seem fazed by the incident, since she even took a photo where she was smirking next to an NYPD detective.
And now they done stop me and I get locked up. Oh, I wonder why you got locked up. That's a toughie.
Posted it on her stories and captioned it, "They took my phone, y'all. I'm on the trap right now. And now they don't stop me and I get locked up." She said Akon's locked up as the, the Instagram music thing for the story. In an equally
That's insane. You put your Instagram story music as, damn, I'm gonna get locked up.
carefree fashion. While leaving the courthouse, she had told a reporter,
advice to men: if your girl you're dating has OnlyFans, break up with them then and there. Nah, I don't necessarily agree with that. There's nothing wrong with being on OnlyFans. This is a video about OnlyFans models that stab people, right? But there are like, what, tens of thousands of OnlyFans models. Most of them don't stab people. I would assume that there is just a higher percentage as like accountants that stab their boyfriends as OnlyFans models that stab their boyfriends. I don't think there's anything necessarily tied to being a model that means that you're gonna stab your boyfriend. But yeah, I mean, don't stab your boyfriend. That's pretty bad.
subscribe to my OnlyFans. But such behavior is no surprise, as it's consistent with her social media personality. On OnlyFans, for instance, she describes herself as a, quote, free spirit from Alabama with a loud mouth and dirty mind.
That's so cringe. What? Come on, really?
Ideology is probably why she was so popular both on Instagram and OnlyFans. On OnlyFans, she had been charging $20 per subscription, but she put a 50% sale to...
Dude, I have a YouTube membership. It's only $5 per subscription. That's all. It's like 4 times as cheap. Isn't that crazy how cheap mine is in comparison?
To thousands of her fans. On Instagram, where she often posted lewd photos of herself, she had 35,000 followers and gained 10,000 more following the stabbing incident. How lewd were the photos? Well, just a month before the incident...
Why would you? Come on. How lewd were the photos? Here's some pixels. That's how bad they were. I can't show you a single pixel. Every single pixel in this photo will get the video demonetized. There is not a frame. There is not a skybox. There is not a piece of cloud. There is not a tap in the corner. There is not a piece of bed frame that is illegible to be shown on YouTube. Everything is awful.
And she had garnered a lot of followers after posting a photo where she flashed her breasts in front of an NYPD car with the caption this. Her following has grown significantly in the last 2 years, as she currently has over 293,000 Instagram followers and
What, since she stabbed the guy? Really?
about 641,000 likes on her over 1,600 posts on OnlyFans. Exum, while not having a criminal record at the time, was however not new to violent behavior. In October 2018, while living with her cousin in Phoenix, Alabama, in a fight over money, she hit her with a liquor bottle on the head, knocking her to the ground. Her cousin—
That is the most Alabama thing that you can do. I'm not surprised to hear that she's from Alabama. Just smacking someone with a liquor bottle just sounds like it's from the South.
Marlo never pressed charges, despite suffering facial bruises, cuts on the arms, a ripped nail, and a death threat. So, did Exum get sentenced for her boyfriend's stabbing? Well, just like her cousin, her boyfriend ended up dropping the charges against her. She was in jail for just a night. Later, in an interview with Barstool Sports, she said that in hindsight, the situation was more serious than she had thought, and she learned her lesson.
You stabbed someone 2 times!
Titus Low.
What, did you think it wasn't that big of a deal? Why did he drop the charges? I didn't think you could drop charges, because regardless of whether you drop charges, a person still stabbed a person. That's still breaking the law. You can't just be like, no, actually, I am the victim and I'm saying that she didn't break the law, so no punishment. Can you do that? I feel like that shouldn't be the case, right?
Alright, y'all. Remember when I said I wanted to name the video OnlyFans models instead of OnlyFans girls? We actually have a guy on this list. Yeah, we are gonna differentiate. OnlyFans girls just sounds better as a title. That's it. Alright, moving on from the stabbing stories. This next one is a great example of why being aware of your country's laws, however absurd they may be, can save you jail time. The story is about one of Singapore's most successful OnlyFans creators with over 210,000 social media followers, Titus Low. Now, despite the large following—
That is a great name. Before I know anything else, I just want to say that's a really cool name.
The well-known influencer
A man, Pog.
struggling with money in the period leading up to 2021. He had thus decided to join OnlyFans in order to improve his earnings. He signed up for the platform around April 2021 and began posting content. His content did well since between April and October 2021, he made $240,979 US.
What? Wait. Between April and October in the same year? Hey, they say that only women can make money on OnlyFans. That is clearly not true. This is proof.
From his 1,900 subscribers. This success, however, lasted until October 2021. When a person reported to the police that they found a video of Low performing a sex act on their 12-year-old niece's phone. Immediately—
What? Oh, his phone. Oh my God. It's not the 12-year-old, right? Like the situation is he was doing an act, I guess, on someone else or maybe himself, and it was just on the phone. The niece, it's just a phone, it's just a video they downloaded, right?
Immediately, the police responded, confiscated his phone, iPad, and the details of his OnlyFans account. I think it's worth noting that he didn't send any videos to any minors. The video just ended up being found on the girl's phone. I don't know how she got it. On October 11th.
Okay, so she was just like browsing the internet, she was perusing, she did a little downloading. Oh, okay.
11th,
Safe.
he was warned to not access his account anymore or they would press criminal charges against him. He defied this order on October 12th, and so the police returned to his house on November 2nd, 2021, and took away his spare phone and the OnlyFans account details again. The investigation went on, but Low still accessed his account and posted more content. On December 29th, 2021, he was told to present himself to the police station and was arrested and locked up. Recalling the arrest, he said, "I felt very scared, and the way they treated me, it was like I had done something very bad." At one point, he also told the BBC, "Whenever I read BBC now, I just think of better black community." Shout out Kendrick Curry. Videos are fucking hilarious. Anyway, he told the BBC, "In my case, it's a consensual thing between adults, so I didn't think there was any problem." Despite believing that there was no problem, he got charged with transmitting obscene materials and failing to comply with the order.
Transmitting obscene materials? What that could, I mean, that could mean literally like anything, right? You transmit, that's any kind of sex work whatsoever. So what, you're just not allowed to do porn in Singapore? Is that it? Dude, he made so much money. He's probably paying so much in taxes. And technically he didn't send anything to a minor, right? What did he do wrong? Is OnlyFans crime in Singapore?
Restricting him from accessing his account. Transmitting obscene materials carries an up to 3-month jail term, while the second offense carries up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Singapore's penal code clearly states that it's illegal to transmit any obscene material electronically, as well as to receive or take part in profits generated from the transmission of such material. It's a—
What? What? Dude, Singapore must be insanely socially conservative if they're saying that any kind of sex work whatsoever is like jailable. That's crazy.
That Low had ticked off the police because despite the October 11th warning, he had used his secondary email to log back into the OnlyFans account. So while the investigations were going on, he posted 8.
All right, to be fair, if you're logging back into your account after the police have confiscated everything and said, no, you cannot do this anymore, and you keep going back and you do it again, then that's kind of your own fault. You did get warned.
More obscene photos and videos and withdrew a large amount of money from the platform via a friend's bank account. The police noticed that they couldn't log into his OnlyFans account, and that's why they returned to his house on November 2nd. He still went on to access the account.
They couldn't log on to his account. The police were like, damn, we wanted some like content. What the hell?
From the OnlyFans support desk. And again, in defiance of the police order, posted 34 more obscene photos and videos. On October 22nd, 2022, he got fined $3,000 for transmitting obscene content and was sentenced to 3 weeks in jail for defying.
Okay, hold on. If he gets fined $3,000, but he made what, $270,000 in 5 months? That's just business, baby. That's just the price of doing business. Of course, the jail time, not so great. But if you pay a $3,000 fine and you make $270,000 over 5 months, boom, that's just a tax. That's what you call that. Just a little bit of a tax.
The police orders. He served his time, and on November 9th, he made a TikTok video announcing his release and return to freedom. He outlined his plan to focus on his firstborn and also to return to OnlyFans.
Oh, he had a kid?
But without the illegal bits. In the video, he said that prison wasn't the best.
What's the illegal bits?
His firstborn arrived in March 2023, and in a classic content creator fashion, he's been entertaining his fans with his new fatherhood role. It's full of wholesome content. For instance, in one of his TikTok videos, he's seen trying his wife's breast milk for.
Whoa, come on. That doesn't need to be on TikTok. You're telling me this guy took a video, he filmed himself, he was like, yo, I'm gonna sip some breast milk. Here we go, some tea milk time. Gonna sip some tea milk. He drinks it, he takes the video, he looks at it, and he's like, yo, that is great content. People need to see this. Post it online. Okay, I mean, I guess human milk is what you're supposed to drink if you're a human, right? You're not supposed to drink cow's milk or goat's milk. It's weird though. It's weird. It's weird. That doesn't feel good. It's weird.
Yes, that wholesome family channel content. Going forward, we hope that he learned his lesson on running an explicit OnlyFans account in Singapore. And I mean, you could always leave Singapore and just go to another country.
Yeah, that's what. Honestly, he was making so much money. It would be so worth it for him to just leave, go to another country. Go to the great freedom that is not Singapore, and then just continue to do OnlyFans. You're making so much money. Do that for like a few years, boom, you can retire. You can move back to Singapore if you want to. Your baby will be like 2 years old. It's not missing anything. Babies that are on less than 2 years old don't know anything. They're idiots. They don't know a single thing.
Selena Powell. Some people get in trouble to gain clout, and clout is a good way to stay relevant. One such person is Selena Powell, a Miami-based OnlyFans model, who has built herself a reputation as a, quote, black widow for making claims about her alleged sexual escapades with rappers. There's a lot to talk about with her criminal past, but let's just start with the most recent one. In 2021, Powell was arrested and charged with habitually driving on a suspended license. The arrest was made on Monday, March 8th, 2021 in Miami after she was caught making a right turn without using the blinker. The police were actually willing to let her go with a warning, but then they proceeded to arrest her after discovering she was driving with a suspended license. She was taken to jail, and in a classic I don't care fashion, the next day on Tuesday morning, she
when y'all both cheers, but you go act crazy still? Dude, I would not. Come on, guys. Who is the man out there that sees this and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's go. I don't have that mindset.
Tweeted, I went to jail again, LMFAO. Her license had been previously revoked in Colorado. Why was it revoked, you may ask? Well, unsurprisingly, it was because she had been a traffic offender in that state. Traffic violations aside, a year earlier in May of 2020, she'd been involved in an altercation with Tory Lanez over claims that she had messaged him on Instagram and made fun of his hairline. As bizarre as that sounds, it led to a police incident report after Powell claimed that Lanez, together with his rumored girlfriend, Kaylin Garcia, had accosted her at the Miami condos where they all stayed and caused her physical harm. It's also very evident that controversy is in her nature, given that before the Tory Lanez incident, she had made several false claims against other individuals.
Hey, you can't listen. You make fun of a man's hairline. That's cutting deep, okay? As a man with a bad hairline, that's a low blow.
Clout. Among her most controversial stories was when, in May 2018, she appeared on DG Academic Stream and confessed that she lied about being pregnant with Offset's child for a whole 9 months. In the interview, she said, once again, there's no baby. Get over it. Suck my dick. She also lied about being paid $50,000 by Offset to get an abortion. Powell has also been arrested many times before. On December 29, 2018, for instance, she got arrested for different crimes after bounty hunters caught up with her at a hookah lounge in Colorado. The crimes included
This is the kind of person that the term red flag was created for initially. This is just a walking red flag. Why would you? I don't understand why.
And traffic infractions. She had outstanding bonds worth of $61,000. Also, in June 2022, she was arrested for violating probation terms. She had been mandated alcohol and drug tests by the court after a 2015 arrest, where she was a getaway driver in a theft. Surprisingly, though, she got released in
A getaway driver in a theft? I thought she was on probation. She had like a suspended license. She constantly gets arrested for like traffic related and car related crimes. I wouldn't trust this person to be a getaway driver. They're probably not that good at driving.
July of 2022. She was, however, arrested again on May 1st, 2022 for skipping a court date.
Damn, she just does not care.
And got sentenced to 2 years in prison. Her court documents show that she was eligible for parole on March 24th, 2023.
She spent 60 days in prison.
And now let's head on to an interview.
That is crazy. Again, the very definition of red flag. The rest of the video goes on with an interview with an OnlyFans model talking about the highs and the lows of being one of them. So if you're interested in that, I would highly recommend you go and finish the video. Click the link in the description, go and watch the video because it's really cool. And you know, I think that my reaction to that isn't really necessary. You can go and watch it on your own. It's a really good interview, but a fantastic video. If you want me to react to something, post it in my Discord server.